You eat clean, you train hard, you count your calories, and then you sit down for the rest of the evening and wonder why the results are not coming fast enough. Here is the part nobody tells you. What you do in the 30 minutes after eating is quietly determining how your body handles every single calorie you just consumed. And most people are getting it completely wrong because right now your blood sugar is spiking, your insulin is surging, and your body is deciding in real time whether to burn what you just ate or store it. We are talking the difference between a body that stores fat after every meal and a guy whose metabolism burns so efficiently after a walk that his fat cells submitted a formal resignation letter. You do not need a metabolism like that, but you also cannot keep sitting down after every meal and wondering why your body composition is not changing. Because the solution is not another gym session, it is a 10-minute walk. And the science behind why its work is more powerful than most people realize. What happens inside your body after you eat? Most people think digestion is just about breaking food down. It is much more than that. Every time you eat carbohydrates, your body converts them into glucose, sugar, which enters your bloodstream. Your pancreas responds by releasing insulin, a hormone whose job is to clear that glucose out of the blood and deliver it to cells for energy or storage. When this process works efficiently, your blood sugar rises moderately and comes back down quickly. When it does not, blood sugar stays elevated for longer, more insulin gets released, and the excess glucose gets converted and stored as fat. Here is where walking comes in. When your muscles contract during movement, they absorb glucose directly from the bloodstream, independently of insulin. That means walking after a meal creates a second pathway for clearing blood sugar, one that does not require extra insulin to work. The result is a smaller blood sugar spike, a lower insulin response, and significantly less glucose available for fat storage. The fat burning window. Here is the part most people have never heard of. Your body's ability to burn fat is directly affected by how high your insulin levels are. When insulin is elevated, as it is after a meal, fat burning is essentially switched off. Insulin signals your body to store energy, not burn it. The faster your blood sugar and insulin come back down after eating, the sooner your body can return to burning fat for fuel. Walking after a meal accelerates that return. Studies show that a 10 to 15-minute walk after eating significantly reduces both the peak blood sugar spike and how long insulin stays elevated compared to sitting still. That shorter insulin window means more time in a fat-burning state across the entire day, not just during the walk itself, across the whole day. The people who walk after every meal are not just burning a few extra calories, they are creating a hormonal environment that favors fat burning for hours afterward. The blood sugar and diabetes connection. Here is a fact that should make this non-negotiable. A study published in the journal Diabetologia found that 3 10-minute walks after meals were more effective at controlling blood sugar throughout the day than one 30-minute walk at any other time. More effective. With less total time spent walking, the timing matters more than the duration. And here is why this extends far beyond fat loss. Chronically elevated blood sugar, even within ranges doctors consider normal, is associated with increased inflammation, accelerated aging, higher cardiovascular risk, and reduced cognitive function. Every time you walk after a meal, you are reducing that chronic elevation. You are protecting your arteries, your brain, your pancreas, and your long-term metabolic health with nothing more than a short walk around the block. Digestion and gut health. Here is the connection most people never make. Walking after meals directly improves digestion. Your digestive system moves food through your gut using a series of muscular contractions called peristalsis. Physical movement, even gentle walking, stimulates and accelerates those contractions. Food moves through your stomach and intestines faster and more efficiently. This reduces bloating, reduces the feeling of heaviness after meals, and decreases the likelihood of acid reflux, which occurs when stomach contents push back upward due to delayed gastric emptying. Studies show that people who walk after meals experience significantly less bloating and digestive discomfort than those who sit or lie down. And here is the lesser-known part. Faster gastric emptying means nutrients reach your small intestine sooner, where they are properly absorbed rather than sitting in your stomach fermenting and causing gas and discomfort. A short walk after eating is one of the simplest and most effective things you can do for your gut health. The compounding effect. Here's the part that makes this genuinely powerful. Most people think about fat loss in terms of individual workouts. One gym session, one run, one hard training day. But fat loss, real sustainable fat loss, is determined by what your body does across the entire day, not just during the hour you train. Your total daily energy expenditure is made up of your workouts, your base metabolic rate, and something called NEAT. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis. NEAT is every calorie you burn outside of formal exercise. Walking to your car, taking the stairs, standing at your desk, and walking after meals. Research shows that NEAT can account for anywhere between 15 and 50% of total daily calorie burn depending on the individual. 3 10-minute walks after meals adds up to 30 minutes of daily movement. Over a week, that is 3.5 hours of additional fat-burning activity. Over a month, more than 14 hours. That is a full day of extra calorie burning created by nothing more than walking after you eat. The results compound over time in ways most people never account for because they are only looking at what happens in the gym. So what does this actually look like in practice? After every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, take a 10 to 15-minute walk. It does not need to be fast. It does not need to be intense. A comfortable pace is enough to trigger the blood sugar response, stimulate digestion, and keep your metabolism active. If you can only do one, make it after dinner. Evening blood sugar spikes are the most damaging because your body is less insulin sensitive at night and far more likely to store excess glucose as fat. A post-dinner walk counters that directly. You do not need more gym sessions. You do not need another supplement. You need to stop sitting down after every meal. The simplest habits done consistently produce results that the complicated ones never will. Drop a comment if this changed how you think about fat loss. Subscribe for more. See you in the next one. Till then, stay strong,